Welcome to the Down There Where podcast. I'm Amy Milne. This is the show where we get loud about women's below-the-belt health from menstruation to menopause and everything in between. So many women continue to silently endure issues like endometriosis, PCOS, menstrual disorders, and menopause-related challenges without the proper support. We're done with the whispers. We're here to break the taboos, share the stories, and have the conversations no matter how uncomfortable. Whether you're dealing with your own health journey, supporting someone who is, or just ready to join the movement, you're in the right place. Let's get loud. Here's something I don't think we talk about enough. Who is actually in your corner when it comes to your health? Not just someone who shows up, but someone who truly sees you, hears you, and helps you find your voice when the medical system moves too fast and uses words you don't recognize. Today's guest has spent 30 years being that person for women. Rashidah is a registered nurse, a certified nurse midwife, a lactation consultant, a certified doula, and a childbirth educator. She has supported women through labor and delivery, through those terrifying first weeks home with a new baby, and through all the messy, real, under-discussed moments in between. She has been in the room when women didn't know what to ask, and she has been the person who helped them find their voice. She also happens to be a woman who has lived through fibroids, a hysterectomy, and her very first hot flash, which she was convinced was COVID. We will absolutely be getting into that. Rashidah brings wisdom, warmth, and zero tolerance for suffering in silence. And around here, that is exactly the kind of energy we are here for. Rashidah, welcome to the Down There Where podcast. Let's get loud. And how do you know?
I've worked with Stephanie's mom for longer than I like to say out loud now. Probably somewhere between 25 and 30 years.
Oh, amazing.
Mom. So I met Stephanie in a stroller where she wouldn't remember sometimes. Apartment meetings.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, because she's younger than some of us on the phone, so that would make sense.
Yes, she came to several department meetings.
That's awesome. And where do you live?
I am actually in Chicago.
Oh, cool. I like Chicago. I'm based just north of Toronto, in Canada. So
Okay.
I know Stephanie through her boss, Eric. So we've worked with them for the past couple of years on an event that happened in the US and in Canada. And so we were their Canadian partner. And then when I launched, when I wanted a partner in the US for the Down There Fair, which is the event that we are running, our fundraising event, that was the precipice of this podcast. I wanted an American partner. So that's how Stephanie and the team that she works on right now is involved. So yeah, we're launching an event called the Down There Affair, and it's a 7 to 12 kilometer walk in your underwear. Not everybody. I'm wearing like boy shorts right now, because it's you gotta live the brand. And so people will walk in whatever variation of clothing they want to, but the idea is to raise money for women's menstrual health from menstruation through menopause. As you know, you're in the field. There's been tons of work done in the breast cancer space, but women's menstrual health has been hugely ignored for forever. How about just forever? And so we are really interested in finally raising some money and raising our voices for it. And so as we were doing that, I was like, wait a second, that means there's also a lot of women whose stories haven't been told. And so we wanted to do it under this umbrella as well. I know there's other places and other podcast hosts and all that kind of stuff, but we wanted to tie it to what we were doing. And that's how you ended up here today.
Sounds good. Yes.
So go ahead. So what do you do? I just have a brief bio of you.
A lot of things. So I met Stephanie's mom. I am a nurse.
Okay.
And she worked together. I started as a labor and delivery nurse.
Okay.
that moved into me going to graduate school to become a nurse midwife. So
Cool.
I did that for a while. Then I taught nursing, registered nurse students. I did that. I actually retired from that. I did that 20 years or so. But the whole time, I've always wanted to be a doula and a lactation consultant. So I retired from the college,
Hmm.
and now I am a doula and lactation consultant, and it is very part-time, but it's okay because
Yeah.
technically I'm in college, so I can afford to,
Right.
you know, if I get a client, I do, and if I don't, it's okay.
Right.
Um, I am having fun. If you can have fun at work,
Yeah.
I'm doing my job.
That's
It's
awesome.
I won't say it's not stressful at all, but
Yeah.
it I enjoy what I do. So now I
That's
am a
important.
doula, and I still teach childbirth classes,
Okay.
and I still do that with Stephanie's mom.
Yeah.
Mom's a nurse as well, and
Yeah.
yeah, I have
Cool.
done quite a bit of. Maybe I shouldn't say quite a bit. I volunteer. Um, it's been a few years in a row now at the Chicago Marathon. I go with nursing
Oh, cool.
students because I did that before, and
Yeah.
we work it. Stephanie did something, I wanna say maybe it was children with autism,
Okay.
and she needed somebody to work the medical tent, and I wasn't available, but my niece, who is a nurse, did it, and she loved it.
Cool.
So,
That's
I've
awesome.
done a little bit of that. Some festivals in Chicago, I've worked, like, the first
Very
aid or
cool.
medical tent.
Yeah. Amazing. And I'm assuming you went through perimenopause, menopause. Do you have a story yourself that we can touch on today in terms of your experience or the women you see or have experienced?
So, I am that age. My
Yeah.
friends are all doing the thing. I guess the one I kinda laugh at myself about, I had horrible fibroids,
Mm.
horribly regular periods,
Right.
like, count on it every month,
Right.
but just as I aged,
Hmm.
the bleeding just got worse. I feel like it was always 7 days, always, but
Right.
the amount of bleeding, the navigating, people say I'm planning my life around, do I want to
Hmm.
go outside today? And I probably didn't skip actually going outside, but a whole lot of planning for, day one, day two, because
Hmm.
this one turned into one of life's most embarrassing moments.
Right.
I managed to make it through and not have any life's most embarrassing moments. And I can't say that for all of my friends.
Right.
I did My gynae offered me hysterectomy. Why did I say no? Nobody's tell her I'm not using this old purse, but honestly, I didn't want to take the time off work. At the time I was teaching,
Mm. Right.
and it's really hard to be away from work as a teacher, like your class.
Hmm.
I didn't want to use my summer in
Right.
recovery. Um, COVID lammed us, and I was like, oh, nobody's going outside anyway. Okay. Oh, I actually had a hysterectomy in 2020.
Okay.
We were I was. My doctor said she was hoping for laparoscopic,
Hmm.
and that didn't work out. And she told me I'm hoping for laparoscopic. If that
Right.
doesn't work, and we'll go for full out open surgery.
Right.
And the first thing I said when I opened my eyes was, "Did it work
Right.
laparoscopically?" Ah,
Right.
but um, so there we go. And that was the offer. I want to say they did not offer. I think it's called a ablation, where
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
can block the or cut the blood flow to.
Hmm.
They did not offer that because something about one of my fibroids and the way it was shaped, they were
Right.
worried that it would maybe fall off and just die in there as opposed to shrink, which would
Right.
cause me some horrible medical problems that I
Yeah.
wouldn't even know happening until
It's too
it
late.
was a medical emergency. Right. So that's how it became, we can give you a hysterectomy. So
Okay.
that's what I did. I was not in full menopause yet. Again, still having a period every month. So
Right.
she did not kick my ovaries, did not slam me into
Mm.
menopause. I could still feel, I always experienced middle smirch when you can feel your ovaries. I always
Mm-hmm.
experienced that. So that was, I could still feel that. I'd say
Right.
easy a year, maybe 2 years after the hysterectomy. I do remember being hot and thinking that I had COVID. I had just taken my sister
Hmm.
to the airport, and 2 days later, she called and said, I got tested. I'm positive for COVID. So I'm hot,
Right.
right? Hot all day. I took my temperature several times, called into work. I think I have COVID. And then at
Right.
some point that night, it hit me. "Ooh, that was probably a hot flash." But it wasn't. In my defense, it was not a flash. It was a wave. I was hot.
Right.
Hey, I
Right.
thought,
Yeah.
oh, they're gonna take my nurse card. Hold on, my women's
Oh my
health,
gosh.
they're gonna take it because I didn't
That's
even know.
hilarious. That's funny. I'm going to ask you to tell that story again. So we'll jump in right now, and so I'll basically say I'm welcoming Rashidah to the show,
Mhm.
and then we'll jump in and I'll ask you to introduce yourself. We'll talk about the work that you did and working with women. I'll ask you some questions, and then I will ask you the hysterectomy story again, because I have that in common with you. I had a hysterectomy, but I was slammed into menopause. Um, so I'm 52. I just turned 52 on Sunday. And so,
Oh, well,
um, what's that?
happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you. But it's quite a journey I'm probably 3 years since my hysterectomy, and it's been quite a journey to get to a place where I feel like a human being. And so it's the things that we deal with. So I'm going to jump in. I'm going to say, hey, welcome to the show. You're going to say hi, and then I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself, and we'll start another conversation if that's cool.
Okay, sounds good.
Amazing. Okay. I am super excited to welcome Rashidah to the show. Rashidah, welcome to the Down There Where podcast. I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I just had a chance to get to know you a little bit before we jumped on, but our audience has not yet. So please tell us who you are and what makes you such an incredible, good human.
Okay, I don't know about incredible, but my name
I
is,
think you're incredible already, and I've just met you.
oh, well, thank you. My name is Rashidah. I live in Chicago. I have been here my entire life with the exception of undergrad. Um, I complain every year that I'm not doing another Chicago winter, but yet I am still here. I am a registered nurse as well as a certified nurse midwife. So those are my 2 state regulated licenses.
Mm-hmm.
I have a few certifications, kind of deep into women's health. I am
Yeah.
a lactation consultant. I am a certified doula, uh, and I teach childbirth classes. So I've been in the women's health game for about 30 years.
Yeah. Wow. And what got you into the women's health space? Why did you decide to do what you do?
Oh, that one's almost a little bit embarrassing. So I went to nursing school, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just in nursing school. Honest, I think I wanted to be a pediatric nurse, or at least that's what I thought.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And in school, I had a couple experiences in peds
Mm-hmm.
that, nope. And they weren't terrible. It was rough to me because I was 20, 22. I don't
Right.
know. Um, and now that I am an adult with life, I understand that, of course, the parents acted that way because mama bear, papa bear.
Right.
But it was just, I was like, oh, yeah, no, I can't do peds. So, right. Like, I'm
Yep.
giving a kid, maybe 2 or 3-year-old, I'm giving him a bath. And his dad is watching me, like, every move I make. And I'm thinking, I'm doing it right. I'm not doing anything wrong. This is the, and now I understand. And
Right.
now if I'm taking care of a kid and the parent isn't looking, I'm thinking, why aren't you looking? So
Right.
not for me. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Med surg or the medical surgical floor, sick people, I knew that was not for me. So I kind of decided, "Ugh, let's see." And it was honest, it was by accident. I
Yeah.
interviewed summer for one of those, like, you're a nursing student, let's give you a job that kind of exposes you. And I did interview on a medical floor because that's what was available. I knew
Right.
I didn't want that. They had the brand new unit and the pretty uniforms. Nope, I don't want this. I went to postpartum and they interviewed me and I asked the question, when I come home for summer, will I be able to pop in and work? And they were kind of, maybe. It was really, really uncertain. And then I
Mhm.
interviewed in labor and delivery and I asked that same question and they said, absolutely. Like, they were
Mm,
like, "Oh, we are so busy, just call us." So
right.
that's kinda how I landed there, and I stayed there, done a little bit of postpartum.
Mhm.
Um, this is a little bit obnoxious, but considering what we're talking about today, at that time, I felt like, "I don't wanna look at my own pads, why would I wanna look at yours?"
Right.
Like, postpartum just was not my thing.
Fair.
So, I stayed in labor and delivery for the whole time. I went to graduate school, became a certified nurse midwife, did that for a while, and then again by accident, I actually I had surgery. I'm thinking, what happened? I had a hernia repair,
Mm,
and during that time off, when I came back too soon,
mm.
and it was really tough. And then as a midwife, and then I kind of accidentally fell into teaching. Somebody said, "Hey, they are interviewing. They're looking for an instructor. Are you interested?" I interviewed at a community college, and then I taught for 20 years. And primarily, I taught OB nursing. I did a little bit of
Okay.
peds and a little bit of drug calculations because
Yeah.
I am a nerd. I am a math nerd.
I love that. I love
But
that.
I taught women's health. So I was back in labor and delivery and postpartum with nursing students. Whole time,
Cool.
really, really wanting to be a lactation consultant and a doula. Not
Cool.
sure how I could make that work financially, still
Right.
support family. I didn't know what the doula world would look like.
Right.
So I continued teaching and just kind of preparing myself. So I knew I was going to retire as soon as I could.
Good.
Um, the college where I worked, the deal was you could get out at 55. So I started playing. I am out of it.
Yeah.
It did become stressful, but really it was what I want to be is a doula and a lactation consultant. So I studied, I took the exam, kind of prepared myself. So once I retired, I had those things in place. And so now that's what I'm doing, like really, really, really part-time. And
Amazing.
even though I feel like I work more now than I did when I was working full-time,
Right. Right.
I'm always doing something. I am terribly sleep deprived. Does not help during menopause life,
Nope.
not. But yeah, I feel like I am chronically sleepy.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Okay, so much to unpack here. So, as a labor and delivery nurse, so for some of our listeners, if they haven't had babies yet, so as you know, that down there where podcast is all about everything from, your first period of menstruation to your last period and beyond. And so we definitely have some listeners who possibly haven't had their babies yet. And as a nurse practitioner and all the things that you have done, what advice would you offer? Like, what are, because one of the things we talk about in the medical field a lot, or that's lacking, is we're not informed. Like, the actual person, we don't know what to ask you. You might have all the answers, but we don't even know what to ask you. And I think, as a nurse and as doctors, and you have so much information, you don't know what's necessarily important to me other than maybe like, here are the basics. So if someone's preparing to, they're pregnant and they're heading into this new world, which you're not prepared for either, what is some of the advice that you would offer? What is, some of the suggestions, some of the questions, with all your years experience?
So we're talking somebody who's already pregnant or planning
Could
to
be
get pregnant.
anything that you want to share. Like, anyone listening right now will be like, oh, great, I want that piece of advice. And so whatever you'd like to share.
So just women in general, pregnant, never been pregnant, planning to be pregnant, do not douche. I don't know why they still sell those things. That is not a
Mm,
flower. It is never going to smell like flowers. Please don't put flowery stuff in. It,
that's
it, wa-
awesome.
it washes away what needs to be there. Again, I
Mhm.
can't believe they still sell those.
It's so funny that you even start there, because something came up the other day and I was like, do those things still exist? Because I feel like they were huge in our generation because, again, we were supposed to be kept as these like perfect flowers and can't smell and you can't do this and you can't be seen and all the things. And I was like, they still exist?
Still
Like,
exist. Well, that, and I don't even know. Yeah, no, don't. Mm-mm.
don't.
Whatever wash away with soap and water on the outside
Mm,
probably needs antibiotics. Do
right.
not do it.
Good
That's
advice. Okay. Don't douche. Love it. Done.
ever.
That's crazy. Yeah. It's so funny. It was so big. I feel like in the 80s, 70s,
was.
80s, 90s. I feel like it was a thing. Like there was a whole counter, like
And
display.
product amazes me.
That's crazy. Okay. First piece of advice. Don't douche. What else have you got for us?
For pregnant people, I would say do your own homework. So if you are starting with Instagram, TikTok, I make a joke because I watch a lot of reels and I never know if I saw it on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And so I say Instatalk. If you saw it on Instatalk,
Yeah.
okay, that's a place to start, but do your own homework. I
Yep.
see now we are into empowered birth and people making your own decisions. And I see a lot of that. And I'm happy, but I also see people that I think have made decisions based on what they saw or heard on Instatalk because they'll say something and then I can tell that they don't have the information. And I'll give you an example, which is more about the example is about the baby, but it tells me that the parents didn't do their homework. So as I told you, I'm a lactation consultant. So
Mhm.
I do myself, I have to remind myself, what hat am I wearing today? Where am I? Stay in my lane, right?
Mhm.
So I'm waiting my turn to talk. And the nurse asked the mom and the dad, who baby is not an hour old yet,
Mhm.
the 3 medicines that we give in Illinois, we give
Mhm.
pretty much every baby gets vitamin K, erythromycin, and they're offered hepatitis B vaccine.
Mhm.
So they ask, do you want these medications? Parents say, no, no, no. And then she says, do you want your son circumcised? And she says, yes. Well, she just turned down vitamin K. Vitamin K is to help with blood clotting. There is no provider in this building that is going to cut your child's penis if we did not give him vitamin K. So it's
Mm.
there to me because now he can bleed out
Right.
and we did it. Like he
Right.
could still have a bleed, but we did
Right.
it.
Right.
So that's to me, you heard somebody say turn down those medications, but you didn't follow through and do the homework on what this medication is. Maybe you heard the cons, but you didn't check the pros. You
Right.
are the parent. You have every right to make a decision for your baby, but
Mhm.
I want you to make informed decisions.
Mhm.
So in that moment, then they had to kind of rethink, well, wait, do we want to reject this vitamin K more than we want to have this circumcision?
Right.
Like, which one is more important to us? So that's what I mean when I say do your own homework. Again, you have every right to reject that
Of
medication.
course.
There are reason pros and cons to everything, right?
Right. Right.
Then be aware of what comes next
Mhm.
and why. And
Yeah,
I do
that's
see
fair.
a lot of families, being women being encouraged to have an induction.
Mm.
Okay. What's the medical reason for this? If you are going to accept or decline it, know for yourself why this is something you do or do not want versus just what you kind of random
Right.
heard.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah, I had an induction. I was preeclamptic and pretty severely preeclamptic with my first.
medical reason to have an induction.
And yeah, but it's your first baby. I'd never really heard about it. All of a sudden you're in the hospital and you're not allowed to, like, I wasn't allowed to leave, and I'm like, I have a wedding to go to. Like, what do you mean I'm not allowed to leave? My baby's not coming for 3 weeks. And you limited, like when I had my kids 22 years ago, I couldn't quickly check on on my phone to be like, why would I have an induction or not? And so I continued to ask questions and like, can I leave? Can I come back? And it was like, no, you and the baby are in danger. I'm pretty sure the nurse actually said to me, if you leave, you or the baby will die. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm staying.
And I I am not a fan of that type of fear mongering.
Yeah, no, I wasn't a fan either.
Um, I don't I don't think I'm definitely not a fan of that type of fear mongering.
Mm,
Yes, severe preeclampsia is a reason to be induced.
mm,
Um, and especially severe. Like,
mhm.
when was the wedding? Was it that day, the next day?
It was the next day, and my blood pressure was like off the charts, and I was gaining 2.5 pounds of water a day. Like it was
Okay.
crazy.
Looking back on that, I'm gonna say that, yep, you made the right decision to
Mm-hmm.
ask you to stay. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I, I s- I guess I wouldn't pull out the you or the baby could die unless you were
Right.
like tying up your shoes and really
Right.
gonna leave.
I was like, can I maybe go pack my own bag? Because everyone's like, pack the bag. I was like, I'm not going to pack the bag until after the family wedding. My kid's not due till mid-January. It's December 30th. Like, what's the deal? And it was like, nope, you're not leaving. I'm like, okay.
And that's a good medical reason to be induced. Blood pressure
Right.
off the charts, absolutely. But sometimes it's kind of a loose. It's like,
Right.
okay, you're 9 weeks now. We could probably go ahead and get this baby out. Well, that
Right.
really increases the chances that I'm going to get a C-section if my body isn't ready.
Mm,
Like, is my
interesting.
baby is my baby safe right now?
Right.
Is my
Right.
body okay right now?
Right.
Can we, like, whatever it is that you're worried about, can we just check that same thing again tomorrow
Right. Right.
instead of rushing to induce?
I didn't
I
even
just
think, I didn't even think about like your body being ready. Like, I mean, I know that sounds like common sense, but it was, you just think your body's ready when you're about to have a baby because it's ready to have a baby, but it's not. And
right.
so, yeah, that's interesting. And I even just like those two simple questions. Is my body ready? And is my baby safe? If yes, can I come back? Like, I'll come back tomorrow.
Yes. And we're seeing more of that now, but it's still not as much as it could be,
Right.
in my humble opinion. I
Right.
did not go to school.
Right.
However, I can read.
Yeah,
I mean, yes, there are reasons to induce, and blood
of
pressure
course.
off the charts is definitely. However, if we do have now, people have blood pressure cuffs at home
Right.
and take blood pressure once or twice a day. And if it hits this number, I want to see you on my doorstep.
Right.
I think that's a reasonable thing to give people time for
Right.
their body to be ready for
Right.
labor.
Right. I like that. Yeah, I think that's important. And then so now we've had like we've had a baby and we're now in the hospital and we're heading home for the first time. What are some of the things we can do to take really good care of ourselves when we're at home?
Sleep a lot.
Yeah.
Like, we need to lean on our village.
Mm.
Don't feel
Mm-hmm.
so obligated to be independent. I got this. I can bounce back.
Right.
Accept help. And
Right.
then as the village, we need to be the village.
Right. Well said.
Random offer, hey, you don't need anything, do you? No. Show up and do it.
Yeah, I
That
like that.
would help. We need to take better care of new parents.
Right.
They are terribly sleep deprived
Right.
and in survival mode. So whatever they need, we should just do it. We know
Yeah.
people have a hard time asking for help.
Mm-hmm.
So we should put things in place so that they don't have to ask.
Right.
And the
I like that.
parents accept any help that is offered.
Yeah.
And honestly, I tell people, if somebody offers something that you absolutely do not need,
Right.
sure,
Right.
say no. We've got that under control.
Mm-hmm.
But what I really do need is, like,
Right.
because if you say no, thank you, they're going to stop offering.
Right. Because people are like, okay, they got it. You're all good. And it's interesting because I feel like at the same time, in the beginning, having been blessed with being able to have babies after my own journey with endo and all the things. And then on the other end, when I had my hysterectomy, age and stage in life gave me, it was so uncomfortable, but I literally created a 6-week calendar because people offered to help, and I knew people wanted to help because I'm a helper. So if I'm going to ask the person, I want to be a part of the village. And if I'm going to ask, and people are like, I don't know. And I was just like, I'm actually going to tell everybody what I need. Like, literally, here are the things I can and can't do. And I made a spreadsheet of like, walk the dog, drive the kid to school, make the meal. I'm very lucky. My husband's a firefighter, so he's around a lot. But when he was gone, especially in the first 3-4 weeks when I couldn't drive, I needed someone to drive my kids to school. They couldn't drive yet. I needed someone to walk the dog. Like, I didn't want to be a hero. And I feel like, did it really take me 30 years to not be a hero? And so at the beginning, like, to me, here's the spreadsheet of like laundry, fold laundry. Like, my mom used to come over and hold the baby, and I didn't feel the need to hang out with my mom. You hold the baby, I am going to go sleep.
Right. Right.
Because I don't want to talk to, I don't have the brain space to talk to you. And I just need to lay down. And there was a few times where I absolutely went and did laundry because I just wanted to feel normal as well. Like, I wanted to do something. But being clear in what you need is, and you're not always going to know, but there's some basics, right? Like, if you're listening and you're like, it's there, like, meals have to happen. Like, is your husband at work? Is your partner, your wife, whatever, who's around? What do you need? Like, I think it's so important.
I agree. And I often tell people, if you are uncomfortable asking people, put a dry erase board on your refrigerator or put sticky notes on the wall. And when they say, hey, what do you need? You
Right.
can point and say, there's a list over there. If there's anything that you can do,
Right.
I would be so grateful. And then just move the
I love that.
sticky, whatever. It's almost like baby registry. You've allowed them to pick the thing that they are comfortable for. Just like you made a spreadsheet. You
Yeah.
had and so people were able to pick what worked for them. So
Yeah,
they are
exactly.
but it's not flipping over their apple cart
Right.
in order to be of service, in order to help you.
I think
and
I might put a whiteboard on my fridge right now and just start putting a list and hope everybody in my house starts to do things. I think that's just a great life lesson. Thank you.
It is something you can do to help.
Yeah.
And you mentioned like food. For
Yeah.
me, that is the big thing.
Mhm.
That's not everybody's thing. I tell
Right.
people that, well, before this baby comes, whoever is the adult in your house, your husband, your wife, your best friend, you live with your mother, whoever is the adult in your house or adults, think about all the things that have to happen in your house to make things flow.
Right.
Who does those things? You might need to write them down. Some of
Yeah.
that stuff is going to shift to somebody else,
Yeah.
and some of it is not going to get done. And
Right.
that's okay.
Right.
What's important? Pick out the most important things, the things that if this doesn't happen in my house, I feel completely crazy.
Right. Right.
Make sure those things happen and then let the other ones go. And if you're lucky, there's some overlap between you and the other adult in your house.
Right.
And so you don't have to do 6 things. Maybe you can do 2 or 3.
Right. Well, and I
And
think it's important, like, if you're recovering from, even like if you're recovering from a C-section, like, you can't do certain things. And so even taking the recycling in the like, I'm a blue box, I do the blue box chores here in our house. So garbage and recycling, is my job. And so if you're having a C-section, like, someone's got to do that. And even, post hysterectomy, it's really funny. I had 2 of my girlfriend, Cormier, and her partner, RJ, came, and they came and stayed for a couple days to help. And at one point, Cormier's carrying out the garbage and the stuff. And she's like, Amy, do you see how many people it takes to manage your life? And it was, we all know what we do. And I'm not saying I'm a freaking hero by any means, but it's just to your point of like, what needs to happen and how much really happens to take care of a life. And whether that's, post baby, post shitty fucking period, post hysterectomy, whatever like, even all the things that can happen, right? Like, how do we get the care we need so we can heal? Like
Yeah.
that to me is so important. We have to heal, and we forget, I think, as women more than anything, that our body is going through extraordinary trauma monthly with a period. It may not be extraordinary, but it's still doing things that we have no control over. And our flow does different things to our brain and our mind and our bodies throughout our months. And so whether it's having a baby to having a hysterectomy or anything in between, there's a lot of things we can and can't do at different times.
There's a lot of things we can and cannot do at different times, or we
Mhm.
can do it, but it is under duress. Like
Right.
a lot of effort to make it happen.
Mhm.
A C-section is a major surgery,
Mhm. Mhm.
and we act like it isn't because we do so many of them.
Mhm.
And I honestly think the person who had the C-section is riding high off some adrenaline and, "Ooh, look how
Mhm.
wonderful my baby is." Any other abdominal surgery, we say, don't lift anything heavier than 5 pounds.
Right. For
That's
weeks.
what we say for several weeks, 6 to
Yeah.
8.
Yeah.
Yet most babies weigh 7. The average weight of a newborn in the US is 7.5.
Mhm.
So we tell C-section moms, don't pick up anything heavier than your baby. A gallon of milk
Right.
weighs 8 pounds, by the way.
Right. I had big babies. So like my babies were 10 pounds by the time I got them home. Like
Well,
that's double what you're supposed to do for 6 to 8 weeks.
exactly. So a C-section is a major surgery,
Mhm.
and people need to recognize that.
Mhm.
And partners don't know how bad is bad. Like,
Right.
I think
Yeah.
partners get it because we kind of keep it quiet,
Mhm.
or like you're
Big
supposed to
time.
be happy because you just had a baby. So just keep smiling.
Right. Well, and like anything in the female health space, so much of what happens to us is underneath. And it's like, it's not even, you can't even see it. So it's even like it's in our bodies. And so you can start to feel better, but it doesn't mean you're healed. And that was the number one thing for me when I was going through my hysterectomy. And I don't know if the same was for you, but for me, it was like I had to constantly remind myself just because I'm not in pain doesn't mean I'm better, doesn't mean I'm able. And it was a massive mind over, like, it was a mind game for sure. But I'm like, if I don't get better, I am useless longer. And that's not
Right.
helpful for anyone.
Exactly. And you feel like, have I been leaning on these other people too much, too long?
Right.
Do they think I'm faking it, or do they think that I
Right.
am milking to the end?
Right.
And they may or may not, but it's in your mind. You're
Yeah.
worried. What are they thinking?
Yeah. Agreed.
As
But
the
we need
village,
to, yeah.
allow people time to heal.
I love that. I really love that. And we need to hold ourselves accountable, like other women in our villages especially. We need to do that for one another. And I think the world is becoming a little more vulnerable. We as women are being a little more vulnerable. I don't think we're all the way there. We're nowhere near there yet. Um, there's no one's given me a gold badge for achieving each step. So like do it the best you can, but with the village or with the help or with the nap or whatever it may be. Like the overextension isn't helpful for anyone.
It's not. Well, it's not definitely not helpful for the person
Right.
who's over.
Exactly. Yes. It works out well for everyone else.
Yeah, but it's not a good idea. And I think, like you said, that we need to hold space for each other. But I think
Hmm.
as a society, it shouldn't be a secret anymore.
Right.
We need for everybody to know. We live in a patriarchy. We just do.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
they need to know, like because we talk about it more than the generation before us. Come on.
Agreed.
Our mother and my grandmother, oh, please. Oh, it's women's issues. It's a lady
Hmm.
thing. No, they
Whisper.
need to. Right, it's a whisper. Don't talk about it. No, they need to know.
Hmm.
Don't ask me to cook
Right.
because I don't want to stand in front of that stove.
Hmm.
Don't ask me to stay awake and entertain family,
Hmm.
mine or yours, when we just
Hmm.
had a baby.
Hmm.
They need
Agreed.
to know. Keeping it a secret has made it easier for it to go on this long where,
Agreed.
and sometimes even like you said, with women, other women, I feel
Mhm.
like it's almost like hazing. Like, I had a
Mm,
baby, I bounced back.
that's
Well,
great.
good for you.
Yeah. And if that's your story, amazing. It doesn't mean it's going to be mine.
Doesn't mean it's going to be mine or
Yeah.
anybody else's. I am happy for you if you
Hmm.
bounced back.
Hmm.
But I will be honest, I am quietly thinking, did you really? There are definitely people who
Right.
bounce back on a
Yeah.
continuum, right? But
Totally.
there are also some people who faked it that they
Hmm.
bounced back because that's what they thought they were supposed to do.
Yeah. And I would assume you would see a lot of that given your line of work. Like you would, I'm sure you saw dual, like you'd see someone on the outside looking great, but then they, you're interviewing them, asking them questions or how they're doing, and then they're just crumbling.
Yeah. Yep. The face turns red.
Hmm.
Those subtle lines in their face change, and I'm thinking, great. Now I set it off. She's gonna cry, and it's
Yeah.
fine. People cry a lot,
Yeah.
and I tell people you can cry. It's okay.
Yeah.
So a
You
whole
need
lot of
to.
tears, but
Yeah.
the great part is you've been faking it, and
Mm,
because you thought you were supposed to hold it together, and
right.
you're not okay. Oh,
Hmm.
bummer. Like,
Yeah.
okay, and okay, it's okay to cry.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Now, what, what can we do?
Yeah. How
How
can we
can I help?
help?
How
Yeah.
can I help? And you may
I
not
love
know
that.
right now, and that's okay.
Yeah. But we're going to get there. You're going to ask just right.
Hmm.
Tell me about being a doula and a lactation consultant. I'm sure there's people listening right now that are like, oh my God, it's going to cost me a fortune. What do I need this for? I don't need it. How's it different? Like tell me about what a doula and a lactation consultant does and how they can be helpful.
Okay. Yeah, you did hit a thing. Money. It is
Yeah.
not. Doulas and lactation consultants have to feed their families too.
Yeah,
So
of
yes,
course. Totally.
it's key service. However, in the U.S. and I'm hoping in other places, little by little, we're getting there where insurance companies are covering it. Uh,
Okay.
in the U.S., lactation coverage is included. It came with the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare or whatever you're
Okay.
calling it. That lactation is covered. Now, we all know insurance companies sometimes look for loopholes.
Hmm.
Uh, it is covered, absolutely covered in the hospital.
Okay.
It is covered if you have a pediatrician or obstetrician who has a lactation consultant in their office, then they bill it through insurance. So
Okay.
that's covered. It is relatively easy now to get, if you have a PPO, it's relatively easy now to get someone to come to your home so you can get in-house coverage
Okay.
at PPO. That is not as easy to pull off with an HMO, to have somebody come to
Okay.
your house. You can
Okay.
go,
Got it.
right. And I don't think we're at half yet as far as the 50 states with
Okay.
Medicaid coverage for lactation, yes. But
Okay.
for doula,
Okay.
Medicaid is slowly picking up. I am lucky my state does cover
Beautiful.
doula care. Yes.
Okay.
So Medicaid is covering it first in Illinois, and private insurance is slowly picking up. And that's the
Okay.
thing. Insurance, you never know which one is going to do it first, but if one
Right.
does it, private versus Medicaid, then the other one will get on board. It's,
Okay. Yeah, I'll
I,
have to look into what happens in Canada. I'm not quite sure because we obviously have a very different healthcare system per province and overall in Canada. OHIP, I'm not sure what OHIP covers. I'll do a little digging, but
um,
it's so
our,
a doula and a lactation consultant. So what do you do for me as a doula? What is your role?
a birth doula is a professional labor support person.
Okay.
And sometimes people ask the difference between a doula and a midwife, and I think a
Mhm.
better question is the difference between a midwife and an obstetrician. That's my
Hmm.
opinion. Well, because midwives deliver babies, obstetricians deliver babies.
Mhm.
Doulas are not clinical. They
Okay.
offer my elevator pitch is
Yeah. No,
doulas.
I want to hear it.
Yep, doulas offer physical support, so that is hand holding, back rubbing, helping you change positions, bring you water. Um, Doulas offer emotional support. That is your cheerleader. You've got this.
Mhm.
You can do it. Talking to you about your birth plan, what you want this to look like,
Okay.
and medical advocacy, which is a bigger
Mm.
deal if your birth is in the hospital versus if you are having a birth center birth or home birth.
Mhm.
But medical
Mhm.
advocacy is a big thing. In the US, the overwhelming majority of births are in the hospital. So
Mhm.
that is the team, medical team, nursing team came in. They are talking way too fast. They are using words that you don't recognize.
Mhm.
They are telling you what they're going to do, which may or may not match what you want it to happen in your birth.
Mhm.
Your doula helps you find your voice. Your doula does not speak for you.
Mhm.
It's not my birth. It's not my birth. I have to tell
Mhm.
myself that. It's not my birth. It's not my birth for you. But your doula ideally has had time to get to know some things about you prior to your birth
Mhm.
to know what you wanted and to be able to say, do you want a few minutes to talk about it?
Mm.
And that's my thing. Just take a few minutes to talk about it.
Right.
And statistically, they found even if the doula doesn't say a word, just the doula being there improves outcomes. They
Mm.
actually did a study where they just put
I
a
love
person in the
that.
room who did not talk, did not
Hmm.
talk, don't say anything, but just their presence improved outcomes.
Wow.
Now, why? Is it because the medical team saw them there? Is it because the person felt more confident because they knew they were there? Don't know that yet, but
Right. That's
the person
beautiful.
being there, right, improve the outcome. So that's what
Wow.
a birth doula does. A
Okay.
postpartum doula is different.
Mhm.
Um, some postpartum doulas are virtual, some are actually coming to your home, probably more
Okay.
come to your home.
Okay.
That person helps you with some of those physical things that you
Mhm.
need help with after you've had a baby. They are not a maid, they are not a nanny.
Mm-mm.
Most of them don't take care of your other children,
Mhm.
but they help with the person who just delivered the baby and the new baby.
Mhm.
Uh, and that's kind of all over the board. Like maybe that person is folding baby laundry, not the
Right.
laundry for everybody else, but maybe they'll
Right.
fold baby. Maybe they are sterilizing pump pieces or
Mhm.
sterilizing bottles if you are formula feeding. Maybe they make
Mhm.
the next batch of formula. Maybe they bring the food in. You sit right there in that chair and I'll refill your water bottle and bring you some food. They
Yeah.
are that extra arm, that extra
Mm.
hand in your house
I love that.
after your baby. And sometimes it's just talk.
Right.
Like I ask people, how are you feeling? I want to know emotionally and physically.
Mhm.
And it's not my job to be clinical, right? So again, I
Right.
have to keep in my mind which hat I'm wearing today.
Of course.
But I don't I don't throw that information out of the window.
Right.
So I'll ask questions and then I'll say, I think you should probably give your provider a call.
Mm. Right.
Mm, that's a lot. I think you should call your provider or
Right.
how are you feeling about that? I don't That's something that I would encourage you to call your provider
Right.
for. Even medical things, that blood pressure is too high. I wouldn't tell
Mhm.
somebody to change their medicine.
Right.
And if because of my background, I know
Right.
that's
You
what
would know that would need to happen, but that's not the advice you can offer at the time.
you need to call your provider. They might be looking at they might look at giving you a different medication, or maybe
Right.
you want to ask your provider about this medication.
Right.
Or sometimes I catch something that I've caught it as a lactation consultant and as a
Mm.
doula that something over here something's not right. I think
Mhm.
she's slipping into postpartum depression or
Mm.
postpartum anxiety. I can't make that diagnosis. I can't even because of HIPAA,
Right.
it's only so far I can go. But I have called an office and said, I know you can't talk to me about her because of HIPAA, but I can
Right.
talk to you.
Right.
I'm letting you know I am lactation consultant, doula, whatever. I saw her. I think something's going on. She could
Right.
probably be trained for postpartum depression.
Right.
And again, I know you can't talk to me about her. I'm just dropping that little nugget.
Yeah. which is so
And
important.
they
You're just
say things.
you're another set of eyes at a time, and an educated pair of eyes, right? Like, it's the biggest job we all get with zero. Sure, you can read the book, but until you have the human in your hand or arms, you don't know. Your human could be a sleeper, a non-sleeper, an eater, a non-eater, a crier, a non-crier. Like, no book really, it gives you some insight, but it doesn't give you like the when you come home, do that, because none of it works that way.
Nobody fits. Sorry.
Yeah.
Nobody fits
Yeah.
in the textbook. Like,
No.
we have good ideas. We have an idea
Right.
of what they're going
Right.
to look like. We can make a, let's call it a plan, a map.
Right.
I prefer a map.
Yeah, I like
know where
map.
you go.
Mhm.
Ideally, you're going to go straight. It's a straight line.
Right.
Probably going to be yours.
Right.
And that's just how we live with it. That's how we deal with it.
Right.
As a lactation consultant, in my dream world, every baby would get their own mother's milk. Okay, that's in fantasy. That's fantasy
Right.
island.
Right.
And so what can we do? I am not the lactation consultant that is mean to people if they choose not to breastfeed. And I do
Right.
know people who are, no, you are going to
Mhm.
make the decision for your family,
Right.
and I am going to do what I can to help you reach your goal.
Right.
Now, I will educate you.
Mhm.
I'm going to go 99, probably 99.5, maybe a little higher, that baby's own mother's milk is the best choice for that baby.
Right.
Breastfeeding is almost hands down the best choice for the baby. It's not always the best choice for the family.
Right. Well said.
We have to do what's working for everybody. If mom is going to slip into postpartum depression, breastfeeding, then she's no good in any other setting. And so, no, that's not, maybe that's not the best thing for the family.
Right.
So we have to work with what we have.
I love that. I love that. And you're so full of so much information, and I love this. And jumping into the menopausal space, because we're just going to go from birth to menopause here. You yourself have also experienced a hysterectomy, and as a nurse and a woman in the space, you didn't necessarily take care of yourself the immediate moment that you should have, is what I learned. And I'm going to throw back at you, but you're going to share your experience.
Yes, throw that at me. So I life with my 7-day periods that I've had probably since high school. It's always been 7 days, and the bleeding just got heavier and heavier. Towards the end of my childbearing years, the bleeding got heavier. Turns out I had pretty good sized fibroids. I think last measured, maybe my provider said it was maybe size of a 14, 15 week pregnancy. So that's how big my uterus was.
Yeah.
But she also told me, you can have hysterectomy or you can ride this out because of your age. You might hit menopause and this just be done. Okay. I didn't want to take the time off work. I didn't want to give up my summer. I was teaching. I did not want to give up my summer in recovery. And it's tough to just be away from your class when you teach. So I'm just going to ride that out. Well, COVID came along. Nobody's going outside anyway. Sure. Sure, I can do it now.
You needed a worldwide pandemic to take care of yourself appropriately. Is that what I'm hearing?
Probably. I didn't, I was a little bit.
I'm teasing.
I didn't really want surgery, not that much.
No, and
really.
It's massive. It's a big deal. Like, it's a big deal.
And I didn't want to take time off work. Okay. It's
right.
Now it was FOMO. Like, I don't want to take off the summer, but everybody's going to be stuck in the house. Okay, I'll do it. So I did have my surgery. I guess kind of to the earlier end. It was summer of 2020 is when I had surgery, and it turned into a full open abdomen, which I was really hoping for laparoscopic, but my uterus was, I don't want to say it was too big. I think she said just the way it was shaped, it had turned the weight of the fibroid had made it turn a little bit, and she couldn't reach everything confidently and be confident that she wasn't going to nick an artery. It was not worth me
Right.
bleeding out. Right.
No.
It
No,
is the
for
first thing
sure.
I ask when I open my eyes, though.
Yeah.
I don't even know, but yeah, it's the first thing I ask when I open my eyes.
Because it's the scar size thing, right? You're like, oh my God, where, what has just
Do I
happened?
have
Yeah.
a couple little poke holes, or do I have a big
Mhm.
scar? Oh, I have a big scar. Okay,
Yeah.
I won't. And so then, I'm moving along, and actually, I have lost a little bit of weight. I've managed to gain weight because menopause
Mm,
is just evil
It's
when it comes to
sure
managing
is.
weight. So then, I'm moving along. I had not gone into menopause yet, so she did not take my ovaries.
Hmm. Hmm.
The uterus left me ovaries, so I would be slammed into menopause.
Hmm.
I could still feel middle smirts, which is the term used for the pain that some people feel when they ovulate.
Hmm.
So I knew I was still ovulating. Um, Easy a year and a half, almost 2 years after my surgery, and
Okay.
that didn't surprise me either.
Right.
My youngest brother was born when my mother was either 46 or 47, and she was well into her 50s. I remember he was in kindergarten and she still had menstrual products in her house. So I
Wow.
wasn't expecting early menopause. So,
Right.
I'm floating along, and I spend some time with my sister. She's in town. I take her to the airport. A couple days later, she calls and says, tested positive for COVID. I'm like, oh, that's a bummer. Okay. The very next day, I'm hot. I am hot. I am hot all day. I've taken my temperature probably 4 times in one. No fever, but I'm hot. Nurse,
Right.
I keep checking my temperature. I call in sick to work because I must have it must be COVID,
Right.
right? I go to get tested, and at that time, I wanna say that the tests were not instant, so I had to
Right.
wait. So I tested, I'm home, and then I'm not even sure what made it hit me, probably just on the phone with one of my friends complaining that she made it 11 months and then got a period, and so it's still
Right.
not, and then it hit me. I don't have a fever. That was a hot flash. But in my defense, I said it was a hot wave. It wasn't a
Yeah.
flash. It
It
was a wave
hung around.
all day. And like, they are going to take my nurse card away from me. It's a women's health nurse card at that.
Right.
They're gonna put me out. Like, nope, you have to go. You don't deserve to have this card. So right since then, I have continued to have waves on and off.
Yep.
And we're all different. My friends, I see them sweating.
Hmm.
They dress in layers. I never feel like I'm sweating. I never feel like I need to be in layers.
Right.
I feel like I need a really cold glass of water.
Right.
I just feel like I'm suddenly really hot and dry.
Right.
So I don't carry a fan. So
Hmm.
many of my friends have manual fans and
Yeah.
powered ones. I don't carry a fan. But I will need a glass of water at any
Yeah.
given
Well,
moment.
I think it's reassuring to those who are listening to who are like, oh, like even educated people in the field like we're still it's not our first go-to is perimenopause, menopause, our own health. Like you've been in the field your whole life. And again, not that you're supposed to have every answer to everything. You weren't a menopausal consultant, you were a lactation consultant. Like, but it's amazing still how we don't think of our physiologicalness. I don't even think it's a word first. We think it's everything else but what should be because we're not actually
Mm,
educated enough yet.
We're not. We are not. My friends and I, we talk about it. We're okay.
Yeah.
And I talked about the generation before us, not as much. My mother is actually pretty open about that kind of thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but my mother's menopause I've never seen my mother pull out a fan. She
Mm.
didn't suffer. Some of
Right.
her sisters did. I have an aunt that has had a fan in her hand since she was 35. Had an early hysterectomy.
Yeah.
But I didn't see it with my mother.
Right.
My friends complaining about menopause symptoms, but still, when it hit me,
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Mm.
oh, oh,
Mm.
that's what that is.
That's what that
Okay.
is.
And because I I didn't keep that I had a hysterectomy a secret. It's like,
Right.
I do not miss bleeding every month. I'm
Yeah.
not, I haven't looked
Hmm.
back. I have no regrets about
Yeah.
doing that, because that once a month where we kind of go outside and am I going to be embarrassed today?
Yeah. Because it's
Miss
real,
that.
especially when you're bleeding so heavily. Like that was something that was happening to you, right? And I mean, that was something that was happening to me. And I'd had it basically since the time I was 14 because I had endo right from the get-go because that's how it works. You don't just catch it.
Right,
Um,
right.
even though that's what they thought or that's what they tell you. Um, and that is like that's life changing if you have to think about how to get dressed or not dressed, or can I leave the bathroom? Am I
Well, pouring. Are
throwing
you
diapers on versus a menstrual pad? Like it's like those are things we have to think about as women, and especially as we're, again, not everybody's going to have horrible menopause, and everybody's going to have horrible perimenopause. Not everyone's going to bleed a ton, but for those that do, it's life altering at times.
It is. Well, in my state, they have started putting menstrual products in schools at no charge.
Which is so freaking great.
Yes, because again, girls in school, like, what if you really don't have the money to buy this? So
Yeah.
that
Or know that you're going to. Like if you're in grade school, I mean, depending on your weight and where you are in life and what nationality you are and those types of things, you might be an earlier, you might be later. You could be 12, 11 years old and sitting in grade 6 and get your period. And it's not like you threw a bunch of tampons in your backpack before you left for school. Like it's just,
exactly.
it's almost like, it's so funny because as I've started to interview people and really dig into this space, and it's kind of like in school and at work, there's this, we've got HR and we've got all the things, but there's like one thing, and you even got rid of school nurses. Like I remember we used to have a school nurse in the school every day when I was a kid because you knew how to like get yourself there for a nap if you needed to,
That was
right? But like exactly. And so where is that support for women and girls that are naturally going to have a health concern monthly at some point, whether it just be I leaked through my pad, I forgot my tampon at home, I have a cramp, to like the severity of like the kids who are dealing with endo that haven't been diagnosed yet and things like that. It's like there's a spot missing in our school programs and in our workplaces
Mhm.
that are not there to support this like massive monthly thing that happens for us physically, guaranteed.
You're right, it's not. And just little things like, what if I don't have a pad or tampon, or what if I
Mm,
don't have the money for a pad or tampon?
yep.
I still keep pads in the bathroom at my house,
So do I.
where if you just opened my sink because you weren't brave enough to ask me, if you just open a cabinet, you'll
Mm-hmm.
see them.
Mm-hmm.
Just because
Yep.
you know that sometimes you've been out and you're like, oh, and maybe you feel shy
Yep.
to ask. So
Yep.
I just leave them there just
Mm-hmm.
in case. For a long time, I had them in my bag. I don't keep them in my
Yeah.
bag anymore. But I have been in the airport where it was not a place that they were free, and a woman
Mm-hmm.
asked me, "Do you have?" She
Mm-hmm.
actually said, "Do you have a quarter?" I
Right.
don't, but I have a pad and or a tampon, which I
Right.
may have had a tampon and a disc. I don't know
Right.
why they, but I got fitted. And you are,
Yeah.
she's like, "Are you sure?" I am.
Yeah.
Care.
100%. Take them all. Yeah. And I keep them in my house as well. And all my friends are in the, like, that whole, I didn't have a period for 10 months and holy shit, I just got it on the 350th day. But also my boys have friends and my friends have daughters. And to me, it's just something I keep in all of our bathroom drawers.
Mm.
And if someone needed to throw 10 in their pocket, great. Like, I will keep refilling those tampons and pads for whoever needs them in our home at any time. And it's interesting as I've spoken to a bunch of young women, as we're talking about the event and what we're doing in this podcast and such, and the conviction of the younger generation who is like, I don't like, it shouldn't even be an option. Like, it's not even a conversation. It's like, get those tampons and pads in our bathrooms right now. Like it's not even like, it should be a vending machine. It's like, no, these things should be free for us.
Right. Toilet paper is they don't, not here.
Right?
I have tried. I've been on vacation where you had to pay for toilet paper,
Yes.
but we don't pay for toilet paper in a public
Mhm.
bathroom.
Mhm.
There are places that have condoms for free. Like,
Right.
why would we have to pay for?
Right. And a condom is a choice. Having a period is not a choice.
A
And
cho-
I mean, I love condoms. We hand them out for all the reasons, do the things, safety,
abs-
make it
absolutely.
normal, all those things.
Right is a
But that's a
choice.
choice most of the time. When you have your period, that is not a choice. You don't get exempt from that.
No. It just showed up,
Yeah.
and
And
now you
always at the inopportune time. Oh.
have to
Well,
have.
Rashidah, I could speak to you forever and ever and ever. You are a wealth of knowledge. You are a beautiful human. Thank you for sharing your stories and of your own, and some great advice for some of the women that are going to listen for sure. Even though sometimes we think it's common sense to ourselves, there's always that like light bulb moment that, I'll even like remember that we need to be the village that takes care of, and if nothing else, don't douche.
We need don't douche, and don't be surprised when you feel the rage that comes along with the hot
Oh,
flash.
that's a true story.
It's like you're
Mm-hmm.
hot and just shh, nobody talk.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, thank you so much for being here. Do you have one last thing, piece of advice? Do it, be it, something?
Yeah, I feel on the spot. Probably what is just now the theme in general. Take up space.
Mm,
Don't be shy. Don't feel like you have to be quiet. Those days
yeah.
are gone. We
Going.
are, yes, well, they're not gone. The have
Yeah.
to is gone. We just,
Yes.
what we need to do is catch up.
Right.
We
But
need,
talk to your doctor. Like you're like in that, it's like when you're whatever state, like talk to your doctor, talk to your nurse. Don't
to
keep
talk to
it
your,
inside.
say what is going on with you. Maybe somebody has an answer. They can get some
Mm,
help. If you can't talk to your mom, whether it's because you don't have her anymore, that's just not her personality.
right.
Tell somebody. Tell your friend, tell your
Mm,
nurse, tell your doctor, tell somebody what symptoms you are experiencing so that you can get some help.
yeah. Because if it doesn't feel normal, it's not normal.
It is your body, whether it's on
Yeah.
one of those lists or not. If it doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. Make a phone call.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for getting loud with us today on the Down There Where podcast. If this conversation resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe so you never, ever miss an episode. And leave us a review. It would help us reach more women who've been told to suffer in silence. And here's the thing, awareness isn't enough. We need action, we need funding, we need change. That's where the Down There Affair comes in. We're a global peer-to-peer fundraising movement putting menstrual health center stage, from menstruation to menopause and everything in between. Diseases affecting men receive twice the funding of those affecting women. Only 11% of research dollars go to women's health. We're here to change that. Visit downtherewhere.org to register for our next walk, start fundraising, or join the movement. We can't do this alone. Oh, and follow us on social at The Down There Affair, because this conversation doesn't stop when the episode ends. Whether you're dealing with your own health journey, supporting someone who is, or ready to demand the care we all deserve, you're in the right place. Getting uncomfortable is where change happens, and we're never going back. I'm Amy Milne. Stay loud.
Oh, that was binge-worthy.